Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun. We have so much to talk about. It has been a crazy week, and I just got some like hold on. Okay, there we go. Super fantastic news that I can't tell anybody, but I'll tell you next week once the news is out. And no, it's not a grandbaby or anything like that. But anyway, just a super blessing that we didn't expect, and I have to keep my mouth shut. Oh gosh. Well, anyway, let me show you what the new design is. It's a granny square vest. Let me stand up so that you can see this. I hope you like it. It is so much fun. It's very easy to make, and it's coming on Monday. And let me show you. Each of these is. Let me show you what it is. It's three of these squares, and then it's sewn together so that you have room for your arms. And the fringe is an option. I do show a version of this in the video without the fringe, and I think it looks really cool without the fringe, but I have to add fringe for mine, so it's an option. And I use the I love this cotton by Hobby Lobby. Of course, you can use any cotton yarn. Let me rephrase that. Any worsted weight yarn that you have, if you want to make it out of, the Red Heart acrylic or Caron, or, whatever you have left over in your stash, that works. It's a little hotter, I think, for the summer. But, and again, wearing it indoors, when it's just a little chilly, if you're wearing, like a tank or spaghetti strap top like I'm wearing. I don't usually wear these without something over them, but anyway, um, you know, the acrylics could work too. It just depends on your preferences. But this is definitely a good stash buster, and I do go over step by step how to make the granny square, and everybody has their own version of how to do this. And just to let you know, I'm doing the version without the chain ones in between the clusters. I do it without that so that the squares kind of stay together better. So I hope you like this. It's coming Monday. I'm gonna do all that I can as soon as I get my pieces back from the people, my editor and so forth. Hoping to release it a couple days early on the Watch channel. That may or may not happen, but if you're one of my watch.bonniebaycrochet.com subscribers, you will have the pattern complimentary. The pattern will appear both in my Etsy store and in my Lovecraft store, so you can look for it there starting on Monday. Again, my subscribers, I'm going to try to get it to you a little bit earlier, and it will be complimentary to you all. For those of you interested in my Watch channel, just to tell you a little bit about it, I don't try not to talk too much about it, but it is separate from the YouTube platform. There are no commercials. It's spam free, it's ad free, and it's just another way to watch my videos. And a lot of the patterns that are there, a lot of the videos that are there do have complementary patterns. Not every single one, but most of them do. And so where I own the rights to my work, you are able to download that as a complimentary pattern. So check it out. It's cheaper by the year, but the monthly rate on that is $6.95 a month, and if you don't like it, you can just discontinue it very easily. So check that out when you can. Well, gosh, it is so great to be with you all. I'm going to say hey let me go ahead and just say hey to some of you in the chat, because I don't want to miss out on anybody if I can help it. Annette. Hey, Annette. She said, excited to see your new project and hear about the concert starring Paul McCartney. Guys, I got to see Paul McCartney. I feel like such a groupie. But yeah, let me show you. I wasn't going to show you this, but yeah, fangirl, once in a lifetime. I got the t-shirt, so it was a blast. And this is it's called the Got Back Tour, and we were all the way down next to the last here, Baltimore, Maryland. We got to see him, and I can't really explain in words except to just say wow. My husband has been a Paul McCartney fan most of his life. I remember when I was a kid, I had a stack of 45s, and before I go to bed at night, I have them stacked up on my record player, and I remember a couple of Paul McCartney songs. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Archer and Ace. Goodness, you're so generous. But I remember, playing, Paul McCartney songs. My husband has all the albums, the Beatles, Paul McCartney and Wings and all of that. So it was just kind of amazing. And I think what was the most inspiring, besides seeing the fireworks with Live and Let Die, and hearing 50,000 of my closest friends sing Hey Jude. I mean, what's not to like about that? It was like, just can't think about it. Amazing. But what was I going to say? Is seeing Paul McCartney, he's 80 years old, and he sang for 2 3/4 of an hour without a break. And I just thought, man, this man is giving his all, and then some at the age of 80. What's my excuse? So, of course, I'm not a Beatle, I'm not Paul McCartney, but it just really was inspiring to me to just keep on going, and to finish strong, whatever that finish line looks like, just to keep at it and finish strong. And I tell you, unless something happens to my hands, and I hope that doesn't, yeah, I intend to follow suit. Just finish strong. Retirement is not going to be a part of my vocabulary if I can help it, as far as doing what I love, as far as getting my husband to retire from his full-time job. I definitely want to do that. But so that we can do more things together and work in another area, doing something that we've waited to do all our lives. So anyway, thanks for asking about that. And then I wasn't going to say anything, but thank you for asking me. I couldn't resist when I saw your comment. Brat's mom, Linda, hey, thank you so much for being there. And Archer and Ace, thank you for your donation. Let me go ahead and write that down. You're pushing us closer to our $100 goal. Yep, we are very close. So let's go ahead. That makes us $95. So we are very close to another song, which I may have to defer to next week if we do go over that goal. And for those of you who are new to my channel and don't know, I've just chosen to use the super chat donation. I don't solicit it openly, or or telling you got to do this. I don't ever do that, but just there are a lot of generous hearts on this site who follow the channel, and I just thank you for your example. And so what we do is we designate a charity, and the two that are near and dear to my heart are Rancho 3M. It's in Mexico, Guadalupe, Mexico. It's a children's orphanage and Christian school. And there's also Shriners Hospital for Children. We have viewers and my mother-in-law and a relative of a relative who have been a patient at Shriners Hospital for Children. And I just so respect what they do and just want to help out where we can. And as long as I can, and with all the not so good stuff happening in other parts of the world, namely Ukraine right now, I also will match 100% whatever is sent in, and 100% will go to Samaritan's Hospital, Samaritan's Purse Field Hospital in the Ukraine. So hopefully we won't have to do that very much longer, but we'll just keep praying and keep our fingers crossed and just hope that that resolves soon. But I do fear that that's going to be a need for quite a while. Well, anyway, let's get back to the chat. Kelly wants to know how I am. Doing well, Kelly. Oh my goodness, just got some great news. I can't tell you, but we're really excited about the blessing of the Lord right now. Thank you for your kind comment too, sweetheart. And Mary Ford McCord from greetings from North Carolina. Hey, good to see you. One of my sons just drove up through North Carolina yesterday on his way home, and we're gonna get ready to probably drive back down there in a couple more weeks. So, lots going on in the Barker home. Hey Denise, it's good to see you in the chat. And Dawn from Yankton, South Dakota. She says, I finally had a Friday free from things. Yay. Well, I'm so glad you could spend it with us, Dawn. That is really sweet of you. Wow, Kelly, good for you. She says that people are following her site. And she's already selling her messy bun hats. Good for you. Good, good, good. A lot of that's just getting the word out. We have Rebecca from Missouri. She says we're having thunderstorms and a tornado watch. Ooh, do be careful, Rebecca. Yeah, we had my kids had that uh, down in Georgia a couple nights ago. It was just really scary. This picture they sent, there's a little red dot and just surrounded by all this terrible looking stuff on the radar. But thankfully they didn't get the worst of it, and they didn't get the hail that was predicted. So that was good. I hope that just passes on by you and doesn't get near you. Um, yeah, Kelly's talking about a vintage tulip shawl. Doesn't know if she wants to sell it or having a hard time wanting to, to sell this pattern. Yeah, hey Kelly, it's okay to keep something of that you like. It's okay to keep some of your work. Yeah, absolutely. Um, and then Denise says it's really hot in Wiltshire, UK. Wow. Yeah, thank you for encouraging Rebecca there when you're in your post, Denise. Um, let's see. And Rebecca says she's crocheting a mug hug using sugar and cream by Lily. Yeah, I got something similar to that right here. I keep a lot of that on hand. It's either sugar and cream, and I think there's another very closely named. I think it's peaches and cream. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, that stuff is a very much a staple in my house. Hey, Liam, thank you for posting on my Facebook page today. I saw that. I never know who gets to see those posts um, on that site, but thank you for following me all the way from Isle of Wight. They say it's very hot there. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of you folks in the U.S. know, but a lot of people in I don't know if this is your case, Liam, but I know a lot of people in Europe don't bother with air conditioning as much as we do in America. They don't need it as much as we do, quite frankly. But then when they do get those hot summer days, it can be pretty brutal. And also, you guys over in the UK and I know parts of Europe, see, Americans, or at least this American, is just absolutely enthralled with having ice in her drinks year round. And I know whenever we've gone to Europe, it's really hard to get ice because people just drink things at just the regular room temperature. And when it's like 95 degrees out, that's a little tough. But yeah, it's kind of strange. That's the one thing when I go to Europe, it's like I miss my ice, but I love everything else just about. But yeah, I hope the temperature simmers down a little bit for you, um, Leon. And let's see. Ah, Kelly says that she's having a bad day because her back is killing her. I'm so sorry, Kelly. I hope that gets better for you. I'll think of you when I think of me because my back is much better. Um, it's still not great. It's still not back to where it needs to be to help my son with a move, but it is much better. But it's still got another. It's probably got about 3 or 4 more days to go before I'm back to almost normal. Um, and part of the reason is I'm to blame because I found my impatience to get in the ground. And our house faces the north, so it never gets sun, which is fantastic when you have a porch like we do. So you can sit out on the porch and the sun never beats in on you. It's always nice and cool out there. You can take a guitar or a book or something out on the front porch and just play and not bother too many people. Um, so I was able to go to this new garden place out in Mount Airy and and get my flowers. And I took my time this time. I usually just bust my buffers and just get them all in one fell swoop. But this time I decided to take it in steps. So I took it in 2 or 3 days. I spread it out and no more than 20 minutes each so that I wouldn't hurt my back. And it worked. It worked. I got them all in the ground. I put the last bit of them in my hanging pots yesterday, right before the thunderstorm that almost came but kind of went around us. So really, really excited about that. So now I just need to figure out how to keep the deer away. And if anybody has a sure fireproof, maybe a home remedy that doesn't involve something super stinky outside, you know, I know there's stuff you can buy at the store, but we've tried it. It smells awful and it doesn't last. But if there is like home remedy to keep the deer and animals from eating my impatiens, please let me know, because I'm always open to trying something. I know people say use human hair and stuff like that. I've tried that. It works some, but it not all that well. At least for these deer, they don't get the memos that all the other deer that obey stuff like that do. But I had a thought that didn't know if you guys have ever tried it. I know this is not yarn related, but I saw on a post on Facebook, again, don't know how reputable it is, but a friend of mine posted it, says she tried it and it worked, where cutting up pieces of Irish Spring soap gets rid of flies. And they said it works. I thought, wow, if it gets rid of flies, will it get rid of deer? Would the smell be strong enough to keep the deer away? So if you've ever tried that, let me know. You can, if I miss it in the chat, you can always contact me, bonniebay@me.com. I would love to hear your response, or if you have another surefire way to keep the deer away, shy of sitting outside with, with the swatter or throwing rocks at them or something. Not that I would do that. I don't know. I might, but don't tell anybody I said that. But anyway, I would love to hear your ideas on that. But anyway, Kelly, I hope your back gets better. See, that was quite a squirrel trail there. Bad back, planting flowers. It's amazing how the mind does or doesn't work in my case. We have Alana. She says, sure love our Fridays. Well, Alana, I'm so glad you could be a part of that. Um, and thank you, Kelly, for, praying for our friends here about those tornadoes. Yeah, that's bad news stuff. Thank you, Judy. She says, I'm so thankful for Bonnie's instructions. Opens the door to creative joy. Oh, thank you, Judy. That's my goal. That's my goal, is to keep this craft alive and well for generations to come, not just for us, but something, so we pass it on to others, so that we give them designs that are fun, that they're not going to get bored with, and that they're going to want to pass on to their the next generation, because that's how we've learned them, right? So I just want to keep it alive and active, and yeah, got to keep our hands busy. Got to put down those cell phones every once in a while. Not during Friday Fun necessarily, but put down the technology once in a while and pick up something and make something with your hands. That's just my goal. That's what I want to be able to do. Ah, oh wow. Let's see. Guys are so good. Rebecca, thank you for taking care of Kelly through your prayer. And Rebecca, that sounds like really pretty color. Mistletoe colored cotton. I wonder if that's the multicolor, the green, white, and red. Or if it's like mistletoe as in, anyway, I'm overthinking it, but I bet that's going to look great. Yeah, thank you, Denise, for your comments too. And let's see. We have Love to Craft in the chat. Hey, it's great to have you with us. And oh wow, Alana says storm is kicking up there. Well, I hope thunderstorm go. Leave Alana alone. Bag those tornadoes and just dissipate. I pray. Sandra, it's good to have you from. She says a beautiful 80-degree Southern California day. Currently working on the mindless chevron granny square throw. Yay! I'm glad you find it mindless. I mean, you do have to be careful, but yeah, I hope you are enjoying that. And for those of you who don't know, let me put this aside. I should not have had that out. This is the granny square chevron throw. This is an easy design. Fun design. I do have instructions. If you want to make it wider than mine, you can. This is like 50 or so inches wide. If you want it wider to fit like a fuller size bed, just follow the directions. I think you add 35 chains for each chevron that you add, but don't take my word for it. Check the video just to verify. And of course, with these things, you can use up all your scraps. You can use up all your stash. It's definitely a stash buster. All those yarns you don't know what to do with, just put them in order and start using them. And of course, you can go lengthwise till whenever you feel like stopping. You can wrap the house with it if you want to. Probably don't advise that, but anyway. So yeah, this is definitely one of the easier designs that I have. I think a confident beginner would do well with this. I mean, the first two rows, the second row is where you establish the pattern. In the second and third row, once you establish the pattern, you're pretty much home free with this. And there is not as much counting in it as there would be, let's say, in a traditional ripple where you're using just single crochets. A lot less, it really is not as count centric as those. It's more of a visual, which I love, love, love. Also just wanted to bring this back. I haven't talked about this in a while. The Raspberry Delight stole is also one of the designs up on the pattern, and on the channel. Get my nouns correct. And just to let you know that the lady Eternity Ranch Knits is the indie dyer for this yarn, and I just wanted to kind of give it another plug while I can. This yarn is delightful. It's a blend of wool and silk, and definitely check out her page. She has an Etsy store and some beautiful yarn, and she has kits available, and she can dye the amount for the kits and any of the colors that you would prefer. All right, let's see, what do we have? Let me just show you another thing. This is just a review, because I know some of you may not see the program very often, and I just wanted to give a report that I've been wearing my summer popcorn yoke top a lot, and I had to wash it for the first time. It washed beautifully. I just wanted you to know. I mean, I actually did a no. I probably shouldn't have done this, but it came out fine. I put this in one of those laundry bags, one of those larger, kind of like a hosiery bag, but it's made for sweaters and things. And I put that in the sweater. I do have a front load, so when you don't get the twisty motion, it's just the clothes kind of flop over each other. And I put it in there on regular, just on cold water, but regular, and then laid flat to dry. I have a sweater dryer. Let me show you my sweater dryer. I will be right back. Okay. In case you don't know if you don't have a sweater dryer, this is a wonderful sweater dryer. This I got on Amazon. I don't have a link yet, but I will try to find the link and add it to, I'll add it to the video description after the broadcast if my brain is working. But they do have these on Amazon, and look at this. You can hang it over the shower, the shower rail in your bathroom. And let me show you. You can put 3 sweaters on here. It has a little thing here to help hold the sweaters on if you need to. And so I actually washed a few things. I had 2 of my summer sweaters, and I washed one of my alpaca ponchos. And then you just hang them up in the bathroom and just forget about them. But it's just really nice that you have 3 here. And definitely, when it comes to your handmade items, even if the yarn says you can put it in the dryer, don't do that. Even if it's acrylic, it will shorten the life. It may come out fine, but it will shorten the life of your work. So again, this has been washed, and it still fits. It's nice. Definitely don't put it in hot water. Put it in cold. And if you just wanted to hand wash it and then lay flat to dry on one of these, and it's really nice because you can it gets air on both sides and dries overnight very quickly. But anyway, so this top is available. The pattern is in my Lovecraft store. It's also in my Etsy store. Thank you, Susan. You pushed us over the top, my friend. Oh my goodness. Susan AB, thank you so much. So let me go ahead and write that down so I don't forget. So now, okay, It's going to be Rancho 3M this this time. So I will be on our behalf donating $100 towards Rancho 3M. $100 I'm going to match and going to go to the Samaritan's Purse for the Ukrainian field hospital. So thank you for your generosity and spurring me on. And next week, I will have a song for you guys. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I have to take a look and see what I can come up with. But I'll have something for you to start the Friday fun next week. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you for your generosity. You guys are amazing. Um, so anyway, didn't mean to bore you with this sweater dryer thing, but I will add the link after the broadcast. Or Hannah, if well, but anyway, I could ask Hannah to do that. But anyway, all right. Um, okay, so Hannah said that Mrs. Barker, that my mother-in-law said to try using coffee grounds. Um, is supposed to repel the deer away. Okay. I guess what I also would need to find out is these things that we use to repel the deer. I also need to make sure that they're okay for the health of the flowers as well. So, so thank you for that, Hannah. She, they watch Grandma Barker watches a lot of game shows, and I think she got that from Joey Fatone, or one of the guys on the daytime game show. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna look that one up. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you. Um, let's see. I'm gonna get back to your comments because I am getting so delayed. Um, oh, Kelly, I'm sorry to hear about your cousin's sad news there. That's never a pleasant topic. Um, let's see. I don't want to miss all these comments. Goodness. Okay, I'm finally getting to some of the deer stuff. Hold on a second. Gee whiz, I could just read these for the rest of the time. Um, oh wow, Jane says Ringo is coming to Tanglewood and Lenox, Mass. Yeah, on September 5th. Are you going, Jane? I would love to take my husband to that. That's the one thing my husband says. He said now he wants to see Ringo. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's been quite a year for me musically. I mean, I got to see. I don't know if you guys are familiar with America. It's the guys that sing the Horse with No Name song. They do a lot of beautiful acoustic guitar stuff, and they're really the reason why I have a 12-string guitar because I just love the way some of those songs sound, and I try to play some of that and other things that I love. But I got to see America and Paul McCartney, in the same year, and I'm like, okay, Lord, I can die content now. Actually, I can because God has just given me so much, but it's been really good. But I will check that schedule out, although it's probably a little late to get tickets for Ringo. But yeah, we have Dolores from Ireland. She says was in London last week, so missed you visiting my grandson. Wow, well, Dolores, how lucky are you going from London to Ireland? That's great. I would love to go back to Ireland again. And yeah, Mary and Gary are saying, yeah, Ringo is coming. Don't know if, uh, the whole tour. Okay, well, I'm gonna look that one up, Mary, and we're gonna find out if he's gonna be near me or even in the south because I might be down there. Um, we have Audrey Ann from Malta. Oh my goodness, thank you for joining us all the way from such a far away place, Audrey. Um, And Jacqueline LaFridge, it's so great to have you in the chat. And I'm going backwards here in the way the comments are appearing. And we have Grace from Northwest Washington State. Wow. Says we are still having cool and rainy weather here, so I'm ready for some warmer weather. Oh, I bet. I bet. Um, I remember when I was in that part of the world many years ago, it just rained so much. Um, and we have Sandra from the UK saying it's very hot there, and Linda from Wisconsin. Um, and again, Kelly, um, thank you for all your comments here. And yeah, Dawn says she's always been a fan of his. I guess he's talking about Paul McCartney because I'm going backwards here. Um, Oh, wow. And I'm reading backwards, finding that Jane said that Ringo had to postpone because of COVID. Yeah, I actually had, when I talked to you about seeing the group America, I had to wait 2 years. We bought the tickets and they were originally scheduled for 2020, but yeah, I hope they get better. Um, Dawn says she's always been a fan of his. Okay, I see it. I see it. You're responding to Ringo there now. Okay. Um, and again, Archer Nace, thank you again for your generosity. And Michelle says, okay, last week I said to pray for rain for Montana. You can stop now. Flooding all over the state now. Oh my goodness. I hope you're okay, Michelle. Yeah, that happens a lot though, doesn't it? When things are dry, the ground just can't absorb the water. Um, we have Jan in the chat, and she says the watch channel is well worth the money. All the complimentary patterns would cost more than the yearly subscription. Shh. Yeah, yes, that is. I'm just kidding, Jan. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is true. I think there is a lot of value there, and just not being distracted, and interrupted. Having your train of thought interrupted by pop ups and stuff in commercials. But on the other hand, commercials are, they do have a function. I'm not throwing them under the bus, so to speak, because part of the commercials, like on my channel, help to support me in what I do. So in that sense, you have to kind of be patient with them, I guess, or you can hit the skip button. But yeah, it's kind of nice to have a place where you can view independently, and also I didn't mention about the watch channel. There are many patterns on that channel that do not appear on my public YouTube channel. So there are exclusive designs there, things that I want to keep out of the public, out of the general public eye, just for fear of theft, because I have had that happen. And I'm not going to dwell on that. But there are other YouTubers who I do not know personally, and they're not in the US, they're outside the US, who have actually stolen copyrighted material and use it as their own. So it's a chance also for me to keep my good stuff, for my peeps, for my special people who really love that stuff, and just to keep it mine for a little while before it gets stolen. So I mean, that is part of it as well, and also it's just another platform. So if something ever happens, I hope nothing ever happens with YouTube in a negative way, but in case it ever does, I still have a home, I still have a place. So, but anyway, I'm not anticipating anything negative anytime soon, but you never know. um, we have Rosie King in the chat, and Anne from Greenwood, Indiana. She said, temperature is 79, feels like 86, moving up to 91. Yeah, hot, 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 hot. Yeah, gonna be hot there. Whew. You guys probably aren't used to such hot temperatures. Being from the South, and my kids are, all over the place, especially down in Georgia. It gets stinking hot there. Hotter than I remember Florida being, to be quite honest. Hot, hot, hot. But it is summer. It is summer, and that's what summer is all about. And we have Harriet in the chat. Hey, Harriet Cutters, good to have you with us again. And oh, thank you, Sandra. She likes the fringe. Um, I know it's controversial. Some people are like, "Oh, don't do fringe," and other people are like, "Yes, but more." So I kind of like straddling the two fences there. But I'm a '70s girl. I can't help it. I was born in the '60s, but I grew up the formative years, I guess, in the late '60s, early '70s. Fringe is in, as far as I'm concerned. Um, but I love you if you don't like fringe. I totally get that too. So we have Heather from hot and humid Bel Air, Maryland. Hey, neighbor. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot, but it won't last forever. And we have Crochet Done My Way with Wanda. Hey, Wanda, I hope you are well. I don't know if you're going to CGOA. I hope we get to see each other again soon, but looking forward to that. Um, and and Rosie King says it's a very hot Lincolnshire, UK. Whoa. And Kathy says hello from a steamy Clifton, Virginia. 96 degrees as their high today. Ah. Um, and Jane Scott from Derby, UK. She says it's absolutely sweltering. Yep. Yeah, we'll have to remember. Have to think cold. You know, look at your winter pictures. Oh my goodness. Oh, and oh, we have Swati in the chat. I don't know why I'm just catching these. I'm going backwards, but hey, Swati, so glad you could join us, and I'm glad to hear that your hands are doing your I guess wrist, arms that are doing better. So take it easy. Don't overdo it on the crochet. I know you know that, but I'm so glad that you can join us. And she says it's kind of gloomy there in LA. Whoa. But it says they say it never rains in Southern California, right? um, wow. I hope you're doing well, and you guys are so good to take care of everybody. Um, oh wow, Dawn says that her niece and her family are stranded in Yellowstone where all the flooding is happening. Oh my goodness, that must be terrifying. I hope she is okay. Um, oh my goodness. Well, I hope you guys are okay. I just pray that this ends soon. Okay, it's Kelly Hart. Okay, also Kelly Hart. So you have. Okay, no, I'm reading the wrong one. I'm sorry. So yeah, so sorry to hear about that, Dawn. That sounds awful. So let me see. Who else have I not greeted this morning? Um, oh goodness, Kelly, you're having a hard time there, falling down over your dogs. Oh my goodness. We have Judy from Brazelton, Georgia. Hey, Judy. She says 100 degrees yesterday. Stay inside. Wow. Ugh. I keep wondering if we should consider moving closer, like down to Georgia. But then the summers come, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure I could do that. But I don't know. Uh, I don't know how you guys do it. I grew up in South Florida, but we used to have the tropical breeze. So people complain about how hot it can get in Florida, and it does get hot. I understand that. I lived it for 18 years, and then all the visits make over the years after that, and we never had air conditioning in our home or our cars, ever. I ever. And we didn't even have ceiling fans. So I mean, we just got used to being hot. But we didn't have to go back and forth, changing temperature, hot and cold, hot and cold. And it was just the normal. That was just all I knew. Of course, now living in air conditioning, that would be hard. But we had tropical breezes. We do have those tropical breezes, which are significant, and they do move the air. Whereas in some of these states, like in other states in the South, I mean, there's a reason you see these pictures of people in those old Southern paintings, like on the porch in Georgia, and they're sitting in such a way so that skin does not touch skin. There's a reason for that. It's because the air is so hot and it doesn't move. I spent many years in South Carolina, and beautiful place. And in Columbia, South Carolina in particular, it's like a bowl geographically, and the air just doesn't move. I mean, you don't have the tropical breezes like you do in Florida. And I think I spent the hottest summers of my life when I was in the Carolina band on that band field in August, um, out in 100-degree weather. Ugh, boy, crazy hot. So I get so distracted, but this is summer. This is summer. It's supposed to be hot. Anyway, yeah, but it's fun to fuss sometimes. um, let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Again, thank you, Archer Nace and Audrey Ann. Yeah, I saw that one earlier from Malta. I remember that. Wow. And Patsy Weiss. Haven't seen you in a while, Patsy. Maybe I'm just not remembering, but so good to see you in the chat. And from Illinois said they got some much needed rain this morning. Good. And Gail from Alaska. Whoa. So good to see you. Independence Crochet from South Africa. Welcome to our channel. That's so great that you could join us. Well, let me give you a little more newsy stuff on my list. I'll try to be quick. Crochet Guild of America, CGOA, is coming up July 20th through the 23rd. We are going to be in hot and steamy New Orleans, Louisiana. And I'm going to be inside air conditioning having a blast with my yarny crochet friends. And I'm going to be teaching, let's see, four crochet classes: how to design your own texturized poncho, how to crochet the Aran sampler scarf, turning easy crochet fabric into your favorite scarf or shawl, and I love crochet cables. I'm teaching four different classes. Two of those are 6 hour classes, 2 or 3 hour classes. Please check out, sign-ups are still on, still open. I believe the signups will remain open even if they don't fill up before the conference opens. And if you just show up to the conference at the last minute, and you may still be able to sign up for a class if there are openings left. But if you are planning on going, I highly recommend you sign up for the classes now while there is space. Don't know whether they will fill or not. I know we're still, kind of post COVID. I mean, I know COVID is still out there, but we're past, I think, the worst of it. Um, and things have opened up quite a bit. Um, so if you are going to go, definitely sign up ahead of time. Things could fill. We don't know for sure, but they could. Don't anticipate that, but they may. I'm also going to be teaching two segments as part of the professional development day. If you are looking to go into crochet as a personal business, you want to learn how to maybe sell more on Etsy, or you want to learn how to start your own YouTube channel, you want to learn how to anything in the business side of what I do. Even if you don't, even if you're just thinking about it, you're not totally serious yet, but you just want to find out more, you should sign up for Professional Development Day. It's an all-day thing, and it's on July 20th. And I'm going to be teaching two segments. I'm going to be teaching one breakout session called "So You Want to Start a YouTube Channel," and I'm going to just tell you some things what I've learned. It's only a 30-minute segment. And then at the end of the all-day class, I'm going to be teaching everybody photography for crochet, how to take great pictures of your crochet. I'm going to have a lot of fundamentals of crochet. You're not going to have to run out and spend $10,000 on crochet equipment. It's basically geared towards using what you already have, and how to make the absolute most of what you already have. Like even the little magic box that we call cell phones, that most of us carry around in our pockets now. You can do a ton of stuff just with that, and if you know what to do, you can make just rocking pictures with that. Of course, you can still take bad pictures with them. I see a lot of pictures that are, yeah, all the time online. But you can take some great pictures, and I'm just going to give lots of tips on how to do that, and the do's, the don'ts, and just from a more of a kind of a crash course in photography for beginners. But really looking forward to that, because I'm really excited about that. Photography has always been something I've loved since I was a young child. Um, and in August 25th and 26th, I'll be teaching classes in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. And it's going to be held at the Doubletree by Hilton in Greentree, Pennsylvania, August 25th through the 27th. 3 classes there. I love crochet cables, fun crochet fabric for beginners, and big and bold cables. So really different classes there. And the classes there are very economically priced. So if you are, I mean, these are the most economically priced classes that I've seen anywhere. So if you've wanted to take classes with, teachers directly, check it out. If you're in the area, anywhere near Pennsylvania, please check that out. I would love to meet you. Even if you don't take a class and you attend any of these conferences, please seek me out if you can. I would love to just meet you and just shake your hand if you're shaking hands during COVID. I am. I need that. But definitely, consider doing these. I know I'm going on and on and on. Let me say one more plug about Crochet Guild of America. If you join Crochet Guild of America, I don't know the exact. It's either between $35 and $45. I don't know how much it is, because it changes. And I pay for the professional rate, which is a little bit more than the regular rate. But with each when you join CGOA, you automatically get a year the subscription to this magazine. So I just wanted to show you Crochet magazine. I have had things in here in the past. I don't in this particular edition, but they have some beautiful, beautiful designs in this. It came in the mail, and some of my friends have designs in here. I'm trying to see. I'm not going to show you the whole magazine because I don't want to bore you too much. I want you to check it out. But look at this. Isn't this a beautiful sweater? And this is by my friend, yeah, Britt, who is the editor of Crochet magazine, Crochet World magazine. So yeah, and look at this. This is beautiful. Look at the texture in this throw. Isn't that nice? So if you are a member of CGOA, you will get this in the mail. I think you might be able to even opt for a cheaper, PDF download if that's something that interests you. But here's an unimpeded view of the sweater. Isn't that beautiful? That's by my friend Tammy Hildebrand. So beautiful colors, textures. So oh yeah, okay, I'll show you this other sweater too. This is really pretty. I mean, it's just sometimes the magazines have some good stuff in it, but sometimes it's just like, wow, it's just packed this time. And it's by another friend of mine, Margaret Hubert. Look at this beautiful sweater. And it looks very easy to do. Most of Margaret's things are very attainable. Isn't that beautiful? So again, if you become a member of CGOA, and if you're planning on going to the conference, definitely join CGOA if you haven't already, because you'll get cheaper. You'll get a discounted rate on the classes and everything. So it's I just have so many friends there I have met through the organization. And Crochet World magazine has come out with their new edition. I don't have anything in this one in particular, but again, very beautiful. Britt's doing a fantastic job. Lots of really fun things in here. Let's see if I can find a couple. Just look at this. Isn't that a beautiful pot holder? Kind of a mosaic design. It's by Helen Smith. And let's see what else I can find. Oh, this is cute. Kindergarten Nap Buddy. I mean, very simple, just straight up double crochet, but done with beautiful colors. Isn't that fun? I mean, what child wouldn't love something like that? Oh, and look at the big pencil pillow. I didn't even see that when I looked through it the first time. That is just amazing. And all double crochet. I mean, I would think even a beginner could do that. And one thing that's nice about Crochet World magazine is for those of you who like doilies. I am personally not a doily creator, but I love to look at these. I know friends of mine, and my daughter even loves to make them. So I mean, they have, they come out with a lot of doilies, and they're very beautiful. So anyway, check that out, Crochet World magazine. If you're looking for, I do have the link for this in the video description below. If you're looking to, sign up for a subscription to the magazine. All right, let me see if I can say hey to some more folks here. Oh, we have Sharon Archer. She says, first concert I ever went to was the Beatles in Shea Stadium. I'm jealous, Sharon. Wow. Wow. But you know what? The difference between the concert I saw and that you saw at Shea Stadium, I could hear the music. I've seen those, the documentaries and stuff of that concert. And I remember hearing the Beatles talk about they couldn't hear themselves. It was so loud, but that is just incredible that you got to see them. Not trying to be too much of a fangirl here, but whether you love the Beatles or not, nobody can deny that they've had a just seriously profound effect on our music from that point on. But that is so cool. You got to go to Shea Stadium. Oh my goodness. I almost want to reach out and touch you because you've been there. That's amazing. Oh, thank you, Michelle. She says, I love that white top behind you. It's on my to-do list. Well, thank you, Michelle. The top here is on my channel, just to let you know. It is I can't remember the name of it, but if you go to my channel and you go to the home page and click on playlist and click on crochet sweaters, and it's listed in there. It's I think it's the wheat cable top. I'd have to look up the name. I get so many patterns out there. Sometimes I just don't remember the names exactly. But it is on my channel. If you want me to send a link, if anybody wants to send the link, just contact me, bonniebay@me.com, and I'll be glad to send it to you. Um, all right. And Hannah, thank you so much for being there, my friend, my daughter, my sweetheart of a child. Um, Mary and Gary Snyder says, my son-in-law says we are addicted to ice. We always fill the glass. Me and you both, Mary. I actually had to buy one of these. It's not portable. It's a separate ice machine that sits on our counter because the ones in your refrigerator, they just give up the ghost way too soon. And I think the engineering of the way they do the water tubing is just done in such a way that it tends to freeze up and they just break. But I bought one at Costco about a year and a half ago, and it is my best friend. It makes the best ice. It's not only does it make ice when you want it, and you have to pour water in to make it, but it's my friend, and it makes this really nice soft ice that it just tastes good. I can't explain it, but yeah, I'm a fill the cup to the brim with ice before putting in the liquid as well. So we would be good friends. um, Sandra says, okay, says trouble in the UK. This is about the weather. Says we are never prepared for the hot weather and the 1 inch snow that brings the country to a standstill. Sometimes we get all 4 seasons in one day. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, but it's good that you don't have to have all that equipment though, because for one day, if you get 1 inch, everybody can stay home for a day. Trust me, it's when you have to have all that equipment like we do. It's a lot more expensive just to maintain, and it wreaks havoc with the roads but anyway, yeah, I hear you, Sandra. It's the same way in the South. Whenever the South gets ice or snow, people from the North kind of, what's their problem? And it's like, well, their problem is they don't have all the equipment that you guys up north do, and it's not economically feasible to keep all that equipment for one day. So I mean, that's the issue. But yeah, I understand. It's hard, when you get that and you're not expecting it. Um, Thank you for caring for Hannah, Jane. I so appreciate that. She's a trooper. She's just forging on, even though things are not perfect. Um, oh, Patsy says that Irish Spring helps keep mosquitoes away. Okay, I'm gonna put some of that out on my porch around my plants, and just kind of like in a little bowl, and just to when I'm sitting out there on the porch. But that I'm gonna try that. If it keeps the flies away, I guess it would make sense. It'll maybe repel the mosquitoes. That is cool. Um, and Mary and Gary said they've never tried that. They've heard about the Irish Spring soap and haven't tried that. All right. Michelle says it keeps mice away. Haven't tried it for deer. I'm gonna try it. My getting back to the Irish Spring soap thing. I'm gonna try it, but I'm gonna do a little bit of research online first to see. I just want to make sure it doesn't hurt my plants because I know if you upset the pH of the soil and stuff, sometimes it can hurt your plants. And I know sometimes like with roses, putting the coffee grounds on it to make it more acidic helps the plant. So I need to check on the coffee grounds too. Because we do get coffee grounds from my son and husband. I don't drink this stuff, but they do every day. So, um, yeah, well, thank you guys. That is helpful. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna buy me a case of this soap from Costco next time I go. Um, and Joni says to plant lavender. Lavender. Deer don't like scents. Ah, I'll need to look into that too, Joni. I will look into that. But I need to also find out if planting lavender, a lot of those plants require full sun, and I have like no sun where these plants are growing. But I will look into that, seeing what lavender requires. Good idea. Um, okay. Jan says, I have used Irish Spring soap for mice and don't have any flies. Now that you say that, I have bars of soap all over the house. Yeah, the thing that I read said that the flies were actually that were in the area were actually found kind of belly up. I mean, they died. So I don't know. That's interesting. This is all stuff I'm learning. So let's see what we can do. Um, and Brad's mom says, my aunt uses Irish Spring to keep deer away, both the cut up pieces as well as mixing it in water to spray on the plants. Works pretty well. Okay, we are getting somewhere. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this and I will report back to you by the end of the summer and let you know how effective or not it was. Okay? And Michelle again says, try planting lavender and lemongrass. Even if they don't work for the deer, they are pretty. Okay. Again, if they don't need full sun, then I could do that. Wow. Very cool. You guys tuning in for yarn and crochet today didn't realize you're going to get all this about Irish Spring soap and repelling deers and flies, did you? But hey, it may be something we all can use. Um, huh. Yeah, Gary and Mary said that they're definitely going to try it. Our house is not mouse or fly proof. Actually, we've had trouble with mice. I don't think it's from uncleanliness, but we live um, on, where there are a lot of trees, and we're not. Um, we have about an acre, and there are anyway, there are undeveloped areas around us, so we have a lot of wildlife. We have a fox, we have foxes, deer, a lot of deer, and we have mice. And when the weather gets either extremely hot or extremely cold, they come inside for warmth. And there are enough places from the outside where they can get in to our house. So we have to deal with them every so often, which my husband absolutely hates. But anyway, so maybe this soap is the thing. We're gonna have to try that. Oh wow, Sharon Archer is saying that she hopes to start teaching her granddaughter to crochet soon. She's 9. Oh, what a blessing to have a granddaughter, Sharon, and to be able to even think of doing that. That's amazing. Um, Hey Tina Marie, so good to have you with us. Thank you for posting. I know I'm late on these comments, but thank you. And getting back to that yarn that Rebecca's using, yes, the mistletoe yarn, it is red, green, red, and white. Yeah, I know exactly the kind. I know which one you're talking about. I see that. I probably have some in my stash somewhere. Um, oh wow, Gail's saying that the mosquitoes are horrible. And thank you for your kind comments, Gail. Just glad that you can be with us here. And Starfire Horizon um, says to Sharon about teaching her granddaughter, teach her now. Yeah, lots of crafts start at a young age. Blossom that creativity. I agree with Starfire Horizon. Yes, I learned when I was 7, but by the time I was 9, I was not trying to be funny, but I was hooked. I mean, that was going to be my life thing. I mean, I loved doing that. That's when I finished my first granny square afghan, which is one big granny square. And yeah, oh, Margita, so good to have you in our chat today. And yeah, let me see if there's anything else I need to tell you about. Oh, let me show you something. Let me show you something that is coming in about 2 to 3 weeks. It'll probably be the end of June. And you've seen this on the mannequin before, but this is another summer top. You can see from the material, very drapey yarn. This is made using the Universal Yarns pop sock yarn, the same yarn that I used for this sweater, which, like I told you, the one I was telling you about how it washed so well. It's the same yarn. It's just a different color. And this is a little bit thinner, I mean, this goes a little bit faster because it is a lace. Let me put my hand under here, and you can see, you may be able to wear this without something under it, but I prefer wearing like these, these undershirt kind of things. And you can get these like at Walmart and, any place, really, really inexpensive and all different colors. So I just try to wear a color that's either neutral or a color that, features one of the colors that I used for this. And it's just nice. Very, very small, little shoulder things here, or you can make them thicker if you want to. Um, Crocheted entire, pretty much in the round. When you get to the part where the sleeves are, you do have to go back and forth in rows. But the bulk of it is crocheted in the round. And again, material that'll wash very well. But let me show you what I did. I washed this one this week because I was wearing this. This is another yarn. This was discontinued yarn, but I made another one out of some other cottony yarn. This was some of the Red Heart yarn. I just mentioned that in case some of you had any in your stash. But again, this is a sock weight or a #1 weight yarn. So I mean, this is a really fun pattern, for your color changing yarns. Here's some yarn that my friend I mentioned last week sent this, and with the color changing, something like this. It's a little bit thicker, so you'd have to watch your gauge, but something like this would work really well with this. So you want like a #1 yarn, like a sock weight, or if it's a #2, just a very thin #2. And as long as you're watching your gauge, and like I've mentioned before, whenever you crochet something that is fitted, I mean, don't be afraid to crochet something that's fitted, but don't be married to the numbers on the page. Okay, so a lot of the time when I write the patterns, these are the numbers that I used for the yarn that I used with my gauge. So if you're using a different yarn, that's okay, but just make sure that your gauge is similar, and if it's not, just reduce the number of stitches that you're going to use. And I always recommend that you try, get a top that you like to wear, like a t-shirt or a top that you love to wear that fits you the way you like it to fit you, and then compare like the first couple rounds. Like if you do a couple of rounds and it's like this much bigger than the shirt that you like to wear, this isn't going to fit you very well. Or if it's this much smaller than the shirt that you like to wear, then you need to try again and make it smaller. Just adjust the pattern so that it will fit you the way you want it to fit. Okay, I just need to say that because gauge is pretty important. Scarves and blankets, not so much. As long as you have an indefinite amount of yarn, as long as you're not afraid of, as long as you don't run out of yarn, with those other items, it doesn't matter so much. But with shirts and tops and things, it does matter. One thing that's fun about this vest that I'm wearing here is that as long as you get the distance across the back correct, and I do kind of walk you through that, and that's easy. So as long as you get that, you're home free. And when you make this one, you're just making 3 of these squares like this, and that's it. And as long as this is the width, it's a square, so width, height, whatever, as long as it's the width that will fit you from underarm, the center of the underarm, to the center of the underarm, you're good. And then you can choose the distance for the sleeves. I mean, I would err on the side of a little bit bigger than on smaller, because I do have you do a slip stitch trim around the arms. You don't have to do it, but I think it makes it look a little bit neater. So anyway, this would be an easy garment. This is not as complex as one of these, but even saying that, these are not really complex. And I just encourage you all to try something new. I know they're scarier than other projects, but and one thing I like about this material is it's functionally good to wear. It breathes. It's it's cotton bamboo. It's not going to heat. It's not going to overheat you. It's going to be nice and cool for the summer. And oh, thank you, Gary. Mary and Gary said that she wants she. I'm guessing it's she, but wants to try making the wrap, the one that I showed earlier. Thank you. That's a lot of fun to make. And all right, we've got a lot of comments here. I'm gonna have to get ready to sign off, but I just wanted to say hey to some of the new folks. We have Pixie Stitch in the chat. Hey, Pixie Stitch, I don't remember seeing your name before. Welcome to my channel. And Jane says, I seem to struggle obtaining the correct gauge for garments. I can get the width or the height, but not both at the same time. Well, in that case, Jane, I'll tell you what I've done with this particular one. All you really have to do is worry about the width, because I do not specify the number of rows, because what I want you to do is work the pattern stitch until you reach a certain distance, or your preferred distance, let's say from the hip to the underarm. So I do not specify the number of rows, because just like in knitting patterns, they don't specify the number of rows because it can vary a lot. And because of that, I am kind of leaning more on the measurement rather than the number of rows because of that very problem. So in this particular one, you don't have to worry about being too short or too many rows. You do it until the measurement suits what you want, or measuring it, against that favorite shirt of yours. Definitely get out the garment that fits you the best and use that as your guide. Not just in this particular pattern, but in anything that you make from anybody's pattern. I would just highly recommend that. I think that will make for a happier crocheter, more satisfied person all the way around when it comes to this stuff. Wow. There's so many comments. If I missed your comment, I just want to say I'm sorry. I do need to get going here, but we do have Shakita Woods in the chat. Shakita, so glad to have you here. And all right. So I am missing some conversation. I apologize for that, but I do want to finish up here. Let's see. All right. Okay, Pixie Stitch says, I think this is my first live of yours I've caught, but I've watched a lot of your tutorial videos. I love your patterns. Thank you so much, Pixie Stitch. That's so sweet of you. I'm so glad you guys are finding my stuff out there too. And yeah, we gotta, okay. Well, I'm gonna go on to my last thing here. And again, just, I always try to end with some encouraging word, to encourage you throughout your week. And I was doing some reading this morning, and this came to me, and this was before I got the fantastic news about something that I'll tell you about next week. And what I had been thinking about earlier is just how, talking about going to in-person conferences and things. It's like, it's really amazing that we get to do this. I mean, none of us back in 2018 or 19 had any idea what was happening, what was coming in 2020 with the COVID-19, and how that would just change so much of what we know. But it has been quite a journey. It continues to be, life is all of a journey. And it just reminded me of one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite Christian artists named Michael Card. So it's called Joy in the Journey, and I'm just going to read the lyrics to his song because it just gives me such hope, and just a reminder, that we are all, in this together. We are on this road going somewhere. And these are the words to his wonderful song. There's a joy in the journey. There's a light we can love on the way. There's a wonder and wildness to life. and freedom for all those who obey. And all those who seek it shall find it, a pardon for all who believe, hope for the hopeless, and sight for the blind. To all who've been born in the Spirit and who share incarnation with Him, who belong to eternity, stranded in time and weary of struggling with sin. Yes, we are. Forget not the hope that's before you, and never stop counting the cost. Remember the hopelessness when you were lost. There is a joy in the journey. There's a light we can love on the way. There's a wonder and wildness to life, and freedom for those who obey. And freedom for those who obey. Well, I hope you enjoyed this song. Check it out. I'll put the link in the video description once I finish, just so that you can hear this wonderful sweet man sing this song. It's just been such a keepsake for me for many years. But have a fantastic week, and thank you for joining me and for all your support. Love you guys.